Hopefully I'll do okay tonight, but I do want to bring up right now the Cleveland Cavaliers head coach Tyronn Lue, from his humble beginnings that he had in Mexico, Missouri, to one of the leading NBA hottest coaches. He is definitely a man with a vision. He has excelled at all levels of the game. He has a very unique and empowering story to tell, and I think you'll see a lot of parallels to what we do here with the Leadership Academy and some of the courses we have seen with Chauncey and Coach Billups too. So welcome, please, now, Coach Lue. I'm going to move over.
Yeah.
All right, that was his walk-up music. Okay, can you hear me okay here with this? You got yours okay? Can you hear
I
Coach?
don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right,
There we
very
go.
good. All right, so we won't talk about this season.
Please
No,
don't.
you know, so for those that don't know, Coach Lue was he was drafted by the Nuggets, actually, 23rd overall, but never played for the Nuggets. Got traded, went to the Lakers, won 2 titles in his first 3 years there with LA. Went to lots of teams as a player, been through the coaching ranks, and now, of course, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, won a championship last year. What has it been like for you? You've gone through so many teams as a player, and then also kind of, you know, making your way as a coach too, of always looking to the next place, but also being where you are at the moment. You know what I mean?
First of all, I think Chauncey Billups ran out of friends to invite me up here to do this tonight. I just want to thank Chauncey's whole family. You know, Mr. Ray, Miss Faye, Nye, CC, Sid, you know, Pipe, you know, his brother Rodney, who's not here. But they've really been a second family to me. So I'm just happy to be here. I spent a lot of days in Park Hill as a player. We used to come out here and work out. So I just want to say thank you to their family for always having my support and being there for me.
Yeah, all right.
Now, what's your question?
You don't remember my question, do you? I'm just, you know, and it's funny, you mentioned them, and you have beginnings here in Denver and all the time that you've spent in the NBA as a player and a coach. And I think one of the things that we look at tonight, we're going to hear stories from students that, you know, they're facing adversity all the time. And you saw, you didn't get to stay with one team and be there for years and years, and you moved around. So how do you keep that focus, keep the positiveness going?
Well, Chauncey told me a long time ago they have a bank in every city. So the more I moved around, as long as they had a bank there, I was fine with it. But, you know, for me, I never gave up. You know, I always had belief in myself to be a good basketball player. A lot of work with Chauncey over the years, a lot of work with Kevin Garnett and a lot of my friends. And I just never gave up. I knew it was going to be a tough journey, you know, being a small point guard at 6 foot, you know, coming from Mexico, Missouri, where I didn't have a lot of people to look up to. A lot of scouts didn't come in to recruit me. So I had hard days growing up, you know, my whole life. So getting to the NBA and being traded, you know, they told me once you get traded, that means another team wanted you. So I just made the most of it. You know, a lot of those times I was free agents and I signed in free agency because I like change. I don't like to, you know, get comfortable doing the same thing for, you know, 7, 8 years in a row. So I like change, and I had a chance to go to some other teams. After I won with the Lakers, I had a chance to go to other teams for more money. You know, so
there's a bank there.
Yeah, so I had to do that. You know, for my family and for my career, but you know, just staying true to myself, who I was, staying true to my principles. Pride myself on being a good person, a good friend, and never gave up hope. And I just continued to keep working, keep grinding, and I'm here today as a head coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And you mentioned your relationship with Chauncey. How did that start, and how did you guys get so close?
When we were 16 years old, 16 or 17, we played in the AAU tournament in California, and Chauncey played for the Oakland Soldiers, yeah. And so we played against him. I heard a lot about Chauncey, you know, being one of the top 3 players in our class, and you know, having a chance to play against a great player like that. You know, I was up for the game and didn't know who he was, and just had heard a lot about him. And you know, after we played the game, we beat him by 25. But that's neither here nor there. We beat him by 25, and you know, I liked his style of play. You know, so after the game, we had a chance to talk, and he was a great guy. And we were two different guys. You know, I'm loud and I talk a lot of trash, and he was just, you know, low key, you know, to himself. You know, very humble guy. And you know, two opposites attract. And you know, we exchanged numbers, exchanged information, and we stayed in contact. We probably talked 3 or 4 times a week. And, back then, you had to use calling cards. It wasn't you can just call.
couldn't
You
text.
can just call. Yeah, you couldn't call across the country for free. So we stayed in contact. Once we got to college, we was in the same conference. I went to Nebraska. He went to Colorado, and we just stayed in contact, talking 3 or 4 times a week. We had an enemy we didn't like in Jock Vaughn in Kansas, so we would talk before we played them. Chance like, I'm gonna kill him tonight, you kill him tomorrow, whatever. So, we just always had a competitive nature, and he's just been my best friend since that day. First day, we really hit it off, and never had one argument. It's just, he's just a great person, come from a great family. So I'm just happy he's my best friend.
That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. And obviously there's a lot to your friendship, but I think there's some parallels in where you come from. Everybody talks about Chauncey Park Hill and came from, G-Dub, and you come from a city in Missouri called Mexico, which I'd never heard of until I figured out where you came from. And I'm like, there's a Mexico, Missouri?
Right.
But you're very committed to going back there and you give back to that community. How important is it to you to do the same kind of thing that Chauncey has done here?
Well, it's very important. I think when you have a chance to be blessed and be successful as Chauncey is, and myself, I think it's great to give back. And we all needed help to get to where we're at today. We didn't do it on our own, and I understand that. And it's tough on me at times because I come from a town that's 11,000 people. So if you go to a Nuggets game, it's two times more people in the stands than in my hometown. So it's tough because you know everyone and you grew up with everyone, so you want to try to help the whole community. And it's tough, but when you can give back to the kids and give back to the families that you grew up with, that you've known your whole life, it's a great feeling. And for me, it's the biggest thing for me is just seeing a smile on my mom and my grandmother's face to see how people respond to me when I go back home. So, giving back is a great thing. I'm very happy for Chauncey, Coach Porter for what they do for the city of Denver and having this academy. It's a great thing, and, hopefully the kids will continue to take advantage of it. Yeah,
they're leaders and mentors here. Who was yours growing up?
I idolized my uncle Jay Graves. Like I said, growing up in Mexico, we didn't have any, stars or celebrities to look up to, So my uncle Jay Graves was a 6'4" point guard, and I idolized him growing up, and he got me into basketball, and just watching him throughout the course of his career and the things he did, I wanted to be like him. So he mentored me up through, till I got out of college and had a chance to go to the NBA, and now my mentors are, Brian Shaw, Jerry West, Doc Rivers, and some guys who've given me a lot of great advice, throughout the course of my career.
But when you became the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who did you go to first as far as, because that's a whole different level from what you were doing before.
When they first offered me the job, I said, hell no. Surrounded by all the scrutiny of our team. And, when you have LeBron James, the best player in the world, you're going to be on camera all the time. You're going to be, it's going to be a lot of media stuff. So I called Doc Rivers, I called Jerry West, and they said, you absolutely have to take this job. And Doc Rivers just told me that, coming from where we come from and, being a young black coach, that it doesn't happen so often. You usually got to start from the bottom and work your way up. And having a chance to coach a championship caliber team, he said, you have to do it. And then Jerry West said some things, but I can't repeat. Are you effing nuts? Are you crazy? So, I took the job. It was tough. I talked to Chauncey about it. He said I had to do it, and just talked to the people that was close to me. And it worked out, the first year. The second year was a great run for us also. But it's been great. It's been different for me because I'm, more shy. I'm shy on camera. I don't like the camera. I don't like the media and all the attention. But it's been a great ride for me, and hopefully I continue success there in Cleveland.
What's kind of been your biggest challenge as a coach? Is it getting used to the spotlight that was there?
Yeah, the spotlight. I think coaching some guys that I played with.
Right.
So I'm coaching Richard Jefferson.
Yeah,
Richard Jefferson, those guys, we played together. So it's just different, like going from a teammate to know some of the things that we did together, and then now I got to tell him to, get right. He's looking at me like, "Are you serious?" So that's one of the toughest things of just being 40 years old and coaching guys who are 37, 38 that I played with, and then just the pressure of just trying to win a championship and having that, having to be blessed my first year of winning a championship and giving back to the city of Cleveland, which they have great fans and a lot of support. So. It's just been a crazy ride, but now I'm getting used to the media. The pressure is okay because I grew up with pressure my whole life, so that's not really a big deal. So just the LeBron James factor, I guess, would be the biggest challenge. I
And
say
we do have
on a
one of
day-to-day
his jerseys
basis.
later in the live auction.
Got
by the
two
way.
of them,
So
I think,
plug,
yeah.
yeah. So a little plug for that one. When you see the young players coming in, the ones that you can be, you're their coach. Then you're not, you haven't been a teammate of theirs. Is there a different generation coming in? And I think like kids that look at Steph and what he does, and I think some don't think that you need to have the fundamentals because all you can have to do is go shoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different. I mean, just from the standpoint of, social media, I think, back when I came in the league and Chauncey came in, I think a lot of it was just more team and, trying to win, wanting to win. And I thought role players was great at their role, being a star in their role. And nowadays, everybody wants to be a star. They want to promote their brand and, they want to do all that stuff. So it's a big difference in the game. The game has changed, a lot less physical, but the kids are different. I mean, they're different. And I'm calling them kids because, I don't have any kids of my own, but I got 15 kids in the locker room. And it's, it's
you
tough.
Don't need any.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. What messages do you send to them then? And do you treat different players that are at different stages of their career differently, or do you try and, how have you kind of taken your philosophy as a coach that way?
As a coach, I kind of let everyone be who they are. I'm not a yeller or a screamer. I let guys, try to figure it out. When we get to the playoffs, I kind of tighten down more than the regular season. But throughout the course of the season with our veterans, they've done everything, and
right.
You can't come in with the stupid speeches or the dumb little movies you want to show to try to get them hyped.
That doesn't work on LeBron.
It doesn't work on
Okay.
LeBron and Richard Jefferson, those guys. So, but for the younger guys, just be who you are. Find your niche in this league, and you can have a successful career. I had a chance to play 11 years in this career as just a backup, a guy who just found his niche of being a defender. So you just got to find who you are as a player, and then just try to make the most of it.
I mentioned we're going to hear from some of the kids that have been in the Leadership Academy. What kind of positive message would you share with those kids that get involved with this? They have endless possibilities in this world, especially with the direction they're going with the academy.
Well, with the academy, just take advantage of your opportunities. Everyone doesn't get this opportunity. Where I come from, I had to move from Mexico to Kansas City my sophomore year of high school just to get these type of opportunities and try to take advantage of who I was as an athlete and as and my academics. So guys like Coach Porter and Chauncey don't come along very long.
Right.
I mean, come along, very much. So just take advantage of this program. Use it to your advantage. And everyone can be a success story. Everyone can be a professional athlete. Can be a doctor or a lawyer, but you can be special and you can change the world. You can change people around you just by being yourself. So whoever you are, be the best person that you are.
And giving back, you do a lot of it in your hometown, and that's why people are here tonight. Talk about the importance of that and what you do, too, in Mexico.
Well,
I know you've done some cool programs there.
Yeah. Right now, we're just trying to continue to build the city up. Not a lot of positive things there in Mexico right now, but, every summer I go back and do my 4th of July weekend where we give free food to the whole community for 2 days, free swimming parties. We have a block party. Then we have a firework display that we have, and then we have a couple parties that we have that we donate the money to breast cancer because my mom, she's survived breast cancer twice. So we give back to that. Take students to St. Louis on buses to go to Six Flags, and we do pool parties. We do Thanksgiving giveaways. We do the Christmas giveaways. So just try to keep those guys and kids, positive in Mexico and do what I can. And just after seeing this program, talking to Chauncey, like, it's something I would want to do in Mexico. It's a smaller town, but just give kids hope, and to always look forward, always, there's better things in life than just this. And if I could be a tribute to that and continue to give back and continue to show these kids that there are positive role models that you can look up to. And I take pride in being 40 years old and never had a drink in my life, never had a smoke in my life, no tattoos, no piercing. So,
wow.
Yeah. So everybody always asks the question, so when you won a championship, you didn't drink any champagne? It did roll down my lips. I kind of tasted it, but I didn't drink it willingly. But,
Well, don't they spray it?
Yeah, they spray it. They got it on my lips a little bit. But, yeah, outside of that, never having a drink. And I just tell those kids, you have one thing about it, no matter how much money you have or how broke or poor you are, you have a choice. And, me having a chance to be an NBA player and being a head coach now, my sister who's a lawyer in 2 different states, my brother who's an architect. Like, you have choices that you can make, and if you apply yourself and you make the right decisions and the right choices, anyone can be successful.
Wow. I like it. I can see why you and Chauncey are good friends. You guys are made of the same mold. All right, a couple fun ones as we wrap up here. The 3-on-3 tournaments going on. Who would be your ultimate 3 that you would put on a team?
Chauncey.
I was going to say one's in the room, but I'd say that one.
Chauncey, Kevin Garnett, and Al Harrington.
Okay, and why?
Well, Chauncey and Kevin we all 3 been best friends for a long time. And then Al Harrington, we came into the NBA together with the same agent. And we've always been great friends since we came in from the draft. So, those 3 guys I know are great players and ride or die, and I trust them in any situation.
Could you still play?
No. You see how fat I am right now? I'm busting out my suit. I'm holding my stomach in right now. Yeah.
Is that what coaching does?
Yeah, that's what it does. It does it to you, man. Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add just about this evening and being here tonight and the giving that we're about to see from folks with the live auction?
Well, just honored to be here. Just to be in this position. Like I said, Chauncey and Coach Porter have done a great job, a tremendous job with this academy, and hope continued success with this. And I'm not a big speaker. Chauncey knows that, and to come up here today and do it for my best friend, he means a lot to me, and it means a lot. So, just have fun tonight, enjoy this. Let's just donate and raise as much money we can for these kids and continue success. All
right, head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Tyronn Lue.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Great job. Yes, thank you. All right, I don't know how we top that next year, but that was cool. I like that. That was fun. Thank you, Coach. Okay, we now have, we've said it over and over again, that the best success stories involve a mentor, and some of those too. Sorry. Yeah. I just finished up my glass of wine before I interviewed the coach, so sorry about that. Yeah. He mentioned his Uncle Jay Graves, an organization like the PBLA. They're amazing organizations, that's for sure. And we have some background music to kind of go along with this too, because we're once again going to bring back Mrs. Mary Louise Lee, our First Lady of Denver. Ain't no mountain high enough. Mary?